Hello, I'm Luisa Huggins and welcome to the very first episode of Westside Live, where we will be uncovering all the untold stories of Westside and meeting with the people who helped to make Westside the absolute success that it is. But for the very first episode, I'm thrilled to be sat with co-founder of Coaches for Change, Harriette Luscombe, where we'll be talking all things International Women's Day, Wellbeing and our Westside and Coaches for Change partnership. So Harry, it's so lovely to have you here with us to talk everything International Women's Day, Wellbeing and Coaches for Change.
Awesome, happy to be here.
Absolutely. So talk to me a little bit. When was Coaches for Change born? How did this all happen?
So Coaches for Change is a business that I run with my partner, and we are passionate about helping people make positive changes because we know it's hard to make changes. And I think the seed for the business being born actually happened over like many years, and it came about from things changing and it being hard, right?
Absolutely.
So I've gone through redundancies, I've changed career, Jamie was an athlete and then got injured and he had to change his whole plans for his future. And we know how hard it is to make changes personally. I've been in companies where they've had to have mergers or make redundancies or again change a complete culture, and it's really difficult. So we really want to be able to take everything we've learned and everything that we've studied and turn that into a way that we can help people make positive changes for themselves, for their businesses, for their communities.
Absolutely. And I was on your website earlier and I must say there was a really nice quote saying investing in yourself is the best investment you will ever make. It will not only improve your life, it will improve the lives of those around you. And I think that's a really important thing to take into consideration, isn't it, with well-being, because not only does it impact you, it impacts those around you, and we've got to try and be proactive where possible to try and help, make sure we take care of ourselves.
100%. And that's really pertinent on when we're talking about International Women's Day as well.
Absolutely.
Because it's that whole airplane, putting your own air mask on first before you can help others. If we're not looking after our own well-being, we can't look after anybody else.
It's true. Absolutely. So talk to me a little bit about the services which you offer. What do you provide for your clients, and what do you do?
So we kind of have three pillars that we build what we do on, because we feel that change is easier if you are healthy.
Yeah.
So we look into nutrition, we look into exercise, we look into sleep. We think change is easier if you're less stressed. So we look into ways to help people reduce stress. So that might be meditation, mindfulness, yoga. And then we think the third part of that is about having a plan. So we can coach and work with people to help develop a personal development or a professional development plan to understand where they're trying to get to and where they're going. So the services that we offer kind of sit within those three pillars. And it might be that we help corporate organisations with a yoga class once a week, or it might be that we work with a one-to-one individual and do a session of coaching, whether that be sports or whether that be kind of personal development coaching.
Brilliant. I think it's just so powerful, because I think, coming from, a situation where we've come out of COVID and people's mental health is still very much so, kind of getting back to some sort of normality, if that makes sense, and trying to, focus on yourself and practicing self-care. It's really important with what you offer that people have access to this type of, resources. I mean, I saw a statistic earlier on today which said approximately 1 in 4 people in the UK will experience a mental health problem each year, and it's a really sad statistic actually, but it's the reality. So I think it's incredible what you do, and I think we've got to spread the word on Westside and make sure people know about what you offer and how they can access your support, which is absolutely brilliant. So I know that you've been working on a themed topic for International Women's Day, and it's centred around sleep, isn't it? Which we all absolutely love. We don't get enough of it, but absolutely. So tell us more.
Yeah, so the reason that we are starting by talking about sleep is because it applies to everybody, but in particular, and I know this from coaching a lot of women, particularly professional women, is that we're all trying to juggle or wear a lot of different hats. So we compromise, and we compromise on ourselves before we compromise on other people. And a lot of the time that means we stay up a bit later, or we get up a bit earlier, and we squeeze the amount of time that we are sleeping. But it's a fallacy. It's a complete sort of fallacy to squeeze that time, because it means, as I said before, we're not filling up our own cup first. We're not putting our own oxygen mask on first. And the more we reduce our sleep, the more likely we are to get ill. We have insufficient immune response, and we're more likely to get colds and flus. We will be stressed. We will make more snap decisions, we'll make unhealthy decisions, and all of these snowball to put us not in our best state. And there's all sorts of stats. That 1 in 4 stat that you just referenced actually seems a little bit low sometimes with some of the other figures that I hear, because we're all suffering with more stress than we should be, and chronic stress has a sort of massive impact on our long-term health. So that's why sleep is the thing that we wanted to talk about for this month. And it's not all doom and gloom, because hopefully we're all in a position where we have a space where we can sleep, and we've got a bed, and there's just tiny little tweaks that we can make that will actually help kind of improve our sleep qualities, which will have a massive impact on our day-to-day.
Absolutely. It's just so interesting how something so simple as sleep can really impact your well-being. You know, I mean, I think we're in a current climate where people just think, you know, have a good coffee in the morning and just battle through the day, but over time that can become quite unhealthy, really. So I think you've got to kind of work on creating healthy regimes to try and help your overall well-being. So what advice would you give to someone who is you know, let's say working in the corporate world and struggling to manage, you know, kind of getting that home work-life balance, and, you know, it's really affecting them overall? What sort of advice would you give to someone to kind of tackle that scenario?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost it's important to have a goal for what you're trying to achieve. So what would good look like for you? And that's different for everybody, and that's different at different points in our career. I'd set those boundaries, understand what they are for you, and then set the goals, turn them into boundaries so that you have an understanding of when is time for work and when isn't time for work. And then I really start with the basics and say, work on your health first. So work on getting a good night's sleep, work on getting good nutrition, work on being healthy and strong, and then everything else kind of ladders up from there, and that's where we would create kind of the sense of balance. To be fair, work-life balance is a little bit of a tricky concept for me, because I don't love it, because I think it sets up this expectation that everything we do at work is hard and everything we do at home is easy. And it's just not the case.
It's not. And especially as women, we also know that really isn't the case, you know, with families, and it's not straightforward.
100%. So understand what it is that you want to achieve, set up your goals, work out what those boundaries are, and then prioritize your health, because then you're going to be a lot easier to achieve whatever else it is that you want in terms of that balance.
Very nice. I'm taking mental note here, Harriette. Yay. This is very, very good stuff. I'm taking mental note. No, that's really, really just powerful figures which you've given, and I think we all really need to take note and, you know, practice these things to try and really help benefit our overall well-being. And not only that, I think when we focus on our well-being a little bit more, I think we're so much more productive in the work environment, and that is what it's all about, isn't it? You know, getting that right balance and just ensuring you're looking after you. Looking after you.
Yeah, 100%. And even if you take the advice in one ear and it goes out the other for yourself, think about it for your friends, for your colleagues, for the teams that you might be managing at work. You've really got to think about, you know, how are you making them work to their best? Because I think it's something like 28 billion that the UK loses every year in terms of lost sick days for stress and sleeping issues. So it really does impact, and that makes everybody more stressed when people have to take time off, and you know, no one feels good about that. So even if you're like, well, sure, that's for other people, think about it for your friends, family, colleagues, and then that same advice will start to filter through and you'll start to see the benefit.
Impressive. Thank you so much for that one. So this week we celebrate International Women's Day. I mean, how exciting that there is a day to celebrate all things womanhood.
Yeah, I think it's really fantastic. I think like ultimately I'd love it if maybe, like, for example, your son grows up in a future where we don't have to have these days because everyone is recognised for the fantastic contributions that they make. But obviously we do still have gender inequality issues, and so it's really important to take the day, the week, to really be able to sort of hone in on some of those issues, shine a spotlight on them, and celebrate the fantastic things that women do and contribute to society.
Absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. So Harriette, is there a person who you would say is your most influential female that you look up to? It could be a family member or a celebrity, or is there anyone?
I think in reality, the most important female influences I've had in my life are the ones who are in my life. So I've been incredibly lucky to have fantastic female role models. So right from my mum, all the way through to other females in my family, but my partner's females are fantastic as well. So like I've been really lucky in that sense. I think in terms of people that really inspire me kind of outside of my immediate circle are people who take issues, have causes, and stand up for what they believe in. And we're really lucky because Birmingham in particular has a really strong heritage in women activists. And two politicians at the moment who come to mind straight off the bat from Birmingham, Jess Phillips and Shabana Mahmood.
Absolutely,
doing incredible things for women and also as a woman, and then also fantastic things for the community.
And I think, I think having women in these powerful leadership roles is so important as well. I think it's incredibly inspiring for the next generation of young women coming up to say, I can do it too. And I think it's kind of having that, that positive influence is just so important and really crucial, because I think it's good to have that positive, that positive role model. But as you said, I think there's so many influential women from Birmingham. I mean, if you look at the likes of Emma Willis and Kat Deely, there is so many influential women, and we're just lucky to have them all come from Birmingham. I mean, I am biased, but I do think the best people are from Birmingham, Westside in particular. To celebrate International Women's Day, we're going to play Guess the Inspirational Female. So I'm going to think of someone who is extremely inspirational from Birmingham, and you are going to have to guess who it is. I will give you a few clues, but you've got to try and work out the best you can. Harriette, don't look so scared.
I don't like losing games.
Healthy competition is always good. Right, so I have someone in mind. Okay, so they are born in Birmingham, February. I mean, that probably doesn't help much.
That doesn't help at all.
No, it doesn't. So in a Caribbean household, and they recently appeared in a very successful pantomime in Birmingham at the end of last year.
Okay.
Harriette's like, where's this going? So they've had an extremely successful television career, appearing on shows which consists of a bit of baking, a very big reality TV show which has recently come back.
Okay.
And a very good daytime host. So, Harriette, I'll let you think about who that could be. You've got two guesses. Do you want to make a guess?
I think I've got a guess, yeah.
She's got a guess.
I think it is the fantastic Alison Hammond.
Harriette, that deserves a high five. Hats off to you, girl. We love you, Alison. It's absolutely fabulous. Right, I'll let you give it a go then. Okay. I feel nervous now.
Okay. So, I also have someone in mind, obviously from Birmingham, and she is an Olympian. She is younger than Alison Hammond. Probably quite a lot younger than Alison Hammond. And she is very comfortable in the water.
I know who it is. I think I do. If I don't, this is going to be quite embarrassing, actually. I am thinking, is this person from Warsaw?
Yes.
Ellie Simmons.
Yay!
I mean, Harriette, we're just amazing, aren't we?
I was going to say Birmingham and the surrounding areas, but I just love
Oh
coming to
no,
Birmingham.
we are. We both got it. No, that's absolutely brilliant. But no, thank you so much for taking the time to just sit down and talk to me just about everything International Women's Day and the incredible work that you do with Coaches for Change. And I am really excited now. I'm sure by now everybody on Westside knows that we have an amazing partnership together, and we are really happy to be working with you on providing wellbeing support to the businesses within the district. So tell us about the work that you have been doing with us on Westside.
Yeah, so we have Wellbeing Wednesday, which is it's a live workout class every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So we either do yoga, Pilates, we do HIIT, we do Tabata, and you can do them live with us. You can do them from wherever you are. Maybe your office has got some space, maybe you're working from home, or you can access the whole library of them after the event. So they're all available for whenever you need them. And then we've also been working with you on a monthly basis to provide different kind of wellbeing initiatives to help people within Westside kind of meet and network, but then also explore some issues like things like the importance of kind of addressing loneliness. We've talked about the importance of mindfulness. We've done crafting, and we have got one coming up that's all going to be based in nature.
And that is all out on the website today as well.
Fantastic.
Perfect timing. So if you don't know already, we have our guided walk with Coaches for Change. So on the 18th of March, we are so excited to be collaborating with yourselves again and the Canal and River Trust to take members and people from Westside on a guided walk around the canal system. And as they say, Westside, Birmingham, has more canals than Venice. So I mean, don't worry about going to Venice, just come to Westside. I mean, that's all you need really, isn't it? You know, so I think, you know, just kind of really appreciating the wonderful nature that we have around us, and really just taking, you know, an hour to just focus on your mental health, then followed by some nibbles. You know, that's never a bad thing, is it? So so if you haven't already seen, just make sure that everyone just has a look on our website for our upcoming events. But I think from a wellbeing standpoint, we've kind of covered it off, haven't we? We do quite a lot, don't we? We do quite a lot. And also we are launching our Wellbeing Hub at the end of this week as well. So that will be really exciting. The Wellbeing Hub is a destination on our website where you can see Harriette's wonderful blog entries, our bi-weekly blog entries, and that one will be going up on Friday, and just everything to do with wellbeing. So but Harriette, thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me and having some fun, and we look forward to continuing our partnership and celebrating women all year round. Who runs the world? That's it. Thanks, Harriette.